Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, Governor Andy Beshear makes 2 stops in eastern Kentucky. We break down the reasons for his visit.
And officials say they have found more classified documents. We'll tell you where.
Plus showers and perhaps even some snow flurries on the way back to the region as we head into the second half of this week. Breakdown next as Mountain News at 5:30 starts now.
Dedicated to southern and eastern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley.
And I'm Olivia Calfee. And it appears we are in store for a messy couple of days with everything from rain to wind and then eventually some snow.
A little bit of everything. Let's check in with meteorologist Evan Hatter for the latest on this First Alert Weather Day. Evan.
Well, Steve, that's right. We continue to watch the potential for that rain to switch to snow. Not necessarily tonight, but as we head tomorrow night and into early Thursday, that's when I think our best threat will be for the potential to see some snow showers around the region. Already, we're starting to see the clouds move back in ahead of this system pushing through the region. You see the overcast skies now in Moorhead with temperatures in the middle 40s. A look to downtown Whitesburg. It's also cloudy there as we head towards the evening hours. Temperatures around the region, we had some near 50, most of us middle 40s to upper 40s right now, a little bit cooler into parts of the Big Sandy. Those clouds continue to push on in from the west. We're starting to see those clouds move back into the region, and that's the first in the sign that we have rain on the way. So as we head into tonight, upper 30s with those snow showers moving, or the rain showers with maybe a little bit of wintry mix to start. But for the most part, we're talking snow showers and those lows in the upper 30s. In a few minutes, I'll have the details on this wind advisory and when things really start to go downhill when it comes to the snow chances in a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Evan, thank you. Governor Andy Beshear made 2 stops in the region today, announcing millions in funding for projects in Pike and Perry counties.
WYMT's Buddy Forbes was in Pikeville for the first stop.
Let's give a big Pike County welcome to Governor Andy Beshear.
A news conference in Pikeville brought Team Kentucky to the YMCA Tuesday, celebrating investments in the Commonwealth by dispersing funds into the county.
Eastern Kentucky deserves its share of that investment, and that requires that we be here for infrastructure, that we be here for organizations that are helping to move this county forward.
With around $3.5 million devoted to sewer and water infrastructure investments.
I appreciate this, and one thing about it, it's a start.
Seeing upgrade projects sprinkled throughout the county and giving some families access for the first time.
So every single family that we're able to run new lines to that then is able to turn on that tap. I've been there in a home where they've done it for the very first time. It's pretty special.
More than $330,000 was also presented to several nonprofits in the area.
The book of Ephesians reads where it states he will provide for those who do the work. Well, he needs angels, and thank you all for being those angels.
With Governor Andy Beshear saying their help, especially through the last few years, has been crucial.
These are organizations that help people in need every single day. They deserve our support. They deserve recognition. They are wonderful people doing God's work.
The investments, Beshear said, are showing promise for the future.
Setting a foundation even in the midst of that adversity, which is reaching the point of prosperity.
By helping the money flow to the mountains. In Pike County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
At 6, we will have more from Governor Beshear's Perry County announcements, which include a major project for flood survivors.
Documents marked classified found in the Indiana home of former Vice President Mike Pence have now been turned over to the FBI. The development comes as the White House faces an onslaught of questions about the discovery of classified material found in President Biden's Wilmington, Delaware home and a D.C. office. CBS's Skylar Henry has the latest from Washington.
CBS News has confirmed documents with classified markings were found at former Vice President Mike Pence's home in Indiana.
The handling of classified materials is a very serious issue for our nation.
The disclosure comes 2 weeks after Pence sat down with CBS News, expressing confidence no such materials were in his possession.
Our staff reviewed all of the materials in our office and in our residence to ensure that there were no classified materials that left the White House.
Days after that interview, sources tell CBS News a lawyer located the classified papers checking 4 boxes at the Carmel, Indiana home at Pence's request. On January 18th, another Pence lawyer wrote the National Archives about the discovery, and FBI agents picked up the material on the 22nd.
I don't know how this happened. We need to get to the bottom of it. I don't believe for a minute that Mike Pence is trying to intentionally compromise national security.
The revelation from Pence, on top of the classified material discovered at President Biden's Delaware home and former D.C. office, has a lot of lawmakers talking and some taking sides.
We don't know what's in these documents, obviously, and I think the American people have a right to know, at least the general subject matter.
The DOJ has assigned a special counsel to Biden's case.
I think that the president will provide more information and explanation.
And another to the classified material found in an FBI search of former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago home. Skyler Henry, CBS News, the White House.
In a message on his social media platform, former President Donald Trump wrote, quote, "Mike Pence is an innocent man. He never did anything knowingly dishonest in his life. Leave him alone," end quote.
Top executives from the event ticketing industry were on Capitol Hill today. Lawmakers grilled the Ticketmaster execs and others about the Taylor Swift ticketing fiasco 2 months ago. That's when Ticketmaster was unable to handle the heavy demand for tickets for Swift's upcoming tour. Thousands complained about being unable to get the site to load. Others couldn't access tickets even though they had a pre-sale code. Ticketmaster ultimately canceled sales to the general public, leaving millions of fans ticketless and angry. Public scrutiny over the industry ignited, and lawmakers want to know what happened. They are also taking a close look at the lack of competition in the ticketing industry. As a passenger in the car, you probably do not think you have as much responsibility out on the road as the driver, but that is not always the case. This week is a good reminder of that. It is National Passenger Safety Week. NationalPassengerSafety.org reports that in 2020, 6,275 passengers were killed in car crashes. More than 50% of teenage passengers died in a crash where the car was driven by another teenager. That is why the founder of We Save Lives and the National Road Safety Foundation encourages parents to speak to teens about speaking up if they feel unsafe.
The passengers have the power to save a life, and we want to empower them to do that. And parents, I urge you to let your teens know that you will pick them up, no questions asked, if they're ever in a dangerous driving situation. Safety is the priority here.
Leitner says it's important parents know who their teen is driving with and ask questions such as how old is the driver, how much experience do they have driving, and do they have a valid license before you let your child in the car with someone you may not know very well.
The man charged with killing 23 people at an El Paso, Texas Walmart in 2019 is pleading guilty to federal charges. That's according to court documents. Patrick Crusius is charged with hate crimes involving murder and attempted murder for what is marked as one of the deadliest attacks on Latinos in modern U.S. history. A filing document shows the federal government will not pursue the death penalty in the case. He will be back in court February 8th. 3 shootings in 2 days in California have claimed 19 lives.
Those 3 shootings happened at a ballroom, 2 farms, and a gas station. Not only did they claim the lives of 19 people, they injured more than a dozen others.
CBS's Max Darrow has the latest from Monterey Park near Los Angeles.
Police in Half Moon Bay, just south of San Francisco, say they don't know why a lone gunman targeted 8 of his co-workers at 2 agricultural businesses Monday night, killing 7 of them.
All the evidence we have right now points to a workplace violence incident.
Investigators say 66-year-old Chun-Li Zhao worked at one of the farms and that he used a legally purchased semi-automatic handgun in the incidents.
There were no specific indicators that would have led us to believe that he was capable of something like this, and he was not known to us.
Police tackled and arrested the suspect after he drove himself to the police station.
Victims were adults and a mixture of Hispanic and Asian. Only known connection between the victims and the suspect is that they may have been co-workers.
Governor Gavin Newsom calls Monday's shooting a tragedy upon a tragedy following the shooting on Saturday here in Monterey Park at Star Ballroom Dance Studio. The LA County coroner has now identified all 11 people killed in that shooting, including 68-year-old Valentino Alvaro. His family said he loved people in his community and was the life of any party. Studio owner Mingwei Ma and Mei Mei Nan, whose family says loved to dance, also died. Investigators are still trying to determine why the elderly Asian suspect targeted the dance studio. Police say he took his own life as they approached a van hours after the killings. And late Monday, one person died and at least 7 others were injured at a shooting at a gas station in Oakland. Max Darrow, CBS News, Monterey Park, California.
Another mass shooting left 6 people dead, including a teenage mother and her baby at a home in California's Central Valley on January 16th. Officials say there could be a possible gang link to those killings. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, have an old smartphone just gathering dust? We have some tips on how you could cash in on your old technology.
Plus, showers heading into the region later on tonight. We'll break it all down, including that first alert weather day after this.